You are listening to
Nettle Radio.
I keep my focus, I'm the hostess with the mostest. I spread disease on this beat like cirrhosis. I'm moving smooth like the ocean. When I get provoked, then my actions are corrosive and atrocious. The Bible chapter 37, Joseph. Dreams and the hate I receive, that's compulsive. I'm like a dog, you can't stroke, that's thrombosis. I leave you breathless, that's cystic fibrosis. Acidic flows so the rappers get eroded. Devoted to my demons and my mind is in psychosis. And if you're real and you've been there, you know this. My diagnosis is cocaine, I'm bolted. And in my arms I got the pistol fully loaded. Prepared to do a bird cause I'm devoted to my notions. Fear slowly gets you jabs like COVID. The chosen for the broken is the new age poet. And it's out, your hands, for real. All this medication stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy. My heart no longer feels. Thinking which ones I'm gonna kill. Yo, and it's out, your hands, for real. All this medication stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy. My heart no longer feels. IVS, the anthem for the real. You better start believing that I'm a man of my word and say this is the Diddy-o, then sit and observe. While I teach in rap classes to the masses, observing all the verbs I've been rehearsing and disperse them in a verse. I'm ambidextrous, perplexed, building platforms like Tetris. Perpetuous, so crossing me is treacherous. I'm flying high like a Pegasus. Legacy is relevant to my older wisdom and intelligence. 90s reference, boom bap's a preference. Old school is evident, to dismiss it is prejudice. I mesmerize like a hypnotherapist. May forget the realest hip-hop, the haters won't discredit this. Limitless resilient, skills like Brazilians. Won't stop grafting till we're stacking up the millions. Pledge my allegiance to the kings of real rap. Add my name to the Hall of Fame alongside Tupac. And it's out, your hands, for real. All this medication stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy. My heart no longer feels. Thinking which ones I'm gonna kill. Yo, and it's out, your hands, for real. All this medication stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy. My heart no longer feels. IVS, the anthem for the real.
That is the sounds of Big Rebz, Irritable Bowel Syndrome. Listen, yo, if you ain't heard who he is, you need to go along to his Instagram page and all music platforms and check out that album. You will not be disappointed. Welcome.
What's going on, Charlotte? You alright?
So good. It is so good to have you here in the studio.
Thank you for having us up.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I just want to give him a round of applause, don't you think so?
Are you embarrassing me now?
No. Needs it. Listen, I need, just before we go into the interview, I want to tell our listeners who you are.
Go on.
And I want to tell you them who you are to me. So I was blessed to go to school with this young man. And we went to school in Hainault. And for me, my time in Hainault wasn't as pleasant as what I would have liked it to be. There were joyous moments, absolutely, but there were certain things that just weren't great. I remember connecting with Alex when Facebook first came about.
Yep.
And I sent you a message because I saw your picture come up in my feed. See, Alex was someone who was just supportive and accepting. And I used to get bullied a lot. Yeah. And he always used to come in and say, no, that's not okay. That's not all right. He was not having it at all. And for me, growing up, that really made a difference. And I remember when I saw your picture, I had to send you a message and say, look, you were a big part of my journey. You encouraged me. Yeah. And there were times when I just used to go into the toilet and cry so much. And so I know children, look, when you're children, things happen. But at the same time, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that you're part of my journey.
School's tough.
School is tough.
For everyone.
School is tough. But you invited me to your party. I'll never forget that.
First one,
it's like his first party, he invited me to the party, and I remember there were times when I used to sit and think, what was wrong with me as a child? But as a brother growing up in school, you were amazing. And I just am grateful.
Appreciate that a lot.
Seriously. So it's about shouting it out, Kanika.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Yes, man. You got to give people their flowers.
Me and Charlotte were close in school, you know. Like,
we were.
The kids we went with, some of them, like, I see where they are now. And it's no surprise where they are now.
Yeah.
Because they were just, it was a lot of wrong children in that school. And you know what, Charlotte used to get a really, really difficult time there.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just want to lift
bit taller than I.
Yeah.
6 foot something.
Definitely.
Bit taller than I. But yeah, Charlotte, you were amazing in school, you know, like we was always very, very close.
Yeah.
And I remember how some of the kids used to treat you, and no, that ain't okay. And I'm still the same now.
I believe it.
I try to be that father figure to all my friends, everyone I work with. I'm the first one to try and help them out, and that's just the person I am, and I'll never change.
I appreciate that, man. We need more of you. We do. We do. Definitely.
You grew up in Hainault, didn't you?
Well, I didn't live there, but I went to school there. So I lived in Ilford and I lived in Newbury Park.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I live. But it was just an experience. So it's good to share
Mate,
this space with you.
them Hainault days.
Oh, my days. Listen.
I try to forget them.
I tell you.
I try to forget them. All I wanted to do was play football. And that was it. Just get through them years as quickly as possible.
It's true. It's true. And here we are.
Do you know what? We can take a minute. And assess, you know, like when you were younger.
Are you on tiptoes?
I'm not.
I'm joking.
I'm 5'2.5".
Yes.
Get that half in.
When I'm looking at you two, it's surreal in my mind. It's like when you grow up with somebody and then you guys have become so amazing. And you guys have met again in your power. In your strength, and you're building and you're growing. Is that surreal?
It is surreal. For me, definitely. I can't lie.
It's been a lot of years.
It has been a lot of years.
Yeah, I don't even want to say because then people know how old I am. What's it been, about 20 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knock a few off.
About that. And I tell you, when I realised that you was into music and I started to hear a few of these tracks coming through, I thought, bloody hell, I never knew.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Your lyricalism is outstanding. Your flow is like butter. It's just brilliant. Seriously, when?
Well, it comes with life experience. Obviously, when I was about 18, 19, I was doing the pirate radios. I was on grime. What helped me was when MR2 got with my sister.
Okay. Yeah. And that's obviously the connection.
Yeah, and he come in, and it was what, 4 or 5 years ago now. Yeah. And he just said to me, "I heard you do music," and he must have thought I was going to be another one of them rappers that just like try to rap but can't really do it.
Yeah.
So I done it, and he was like, "Oh, you're actually all right."
Yeah.
He goes, "Let me play some of the beats I've done." I listened. I went, "They're actually all right." Yeah. So he's predominantly drum and bass background. I'm predominantly grime.
Right.
But with the lyrics, it's so easy. I mean, we've done Watch Your Boy Shine, and I just wanted to tell everyone about the stuff I've been through.
Yeah.
And then obviously off the back of that, everything else so forth has happened. But the lyrics come easy. I mean, I can write stuff in 5-10 minutes. Once I get that first line, it just goes.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So it's like naturally gifted.
I suppose, I mean, it helps to have stuff going on in your life, though. I think people who have got nothing to write about, obviously, they've not lived anything.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Some of the stuff I've seen going through the stages through life, and obviously it's the same with all of us in this room. I know we've all been through stuff. It's just about putting it down. I mean, like, even Prisoner of My Mind, that I wrote that about COVID and the situation, people being locked in their mental state. So they weren't allowed to do anything. So every sort of track I do, there's a couple of playful ones there. There's a lot of hard hitting ones when I've had battles with, like when I used to drink way too much or something a little bit harder sometimes. But you know, that's it. I mean, anyone who's heard the music can tell the story, you know.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, with a lot of your songs, the ones that I've listened to, it comes in straight away. You say your story almost from the beginning.
Not scared to hold back.
You're very naked with your picture painting.
A bit too naked sometimes. I mean, when we done Watch Your Boy Shine, some of the tracks. I
was
mean,
just gonna say I love that. That was one of my.
Do you know what? It's a brilliant.
I do. I'm sorry.
It's brilliant, but the thing is, like, even me and Mike sat down after, and he was like, maybe you might be bearing yourself a bit too quickly and a bit too much because it's really raw. Like the stuff we spoke about was so raw.
Yeah.
But now, I just don't care. I'll just let it go, and I'm hoping someone can relate to what we're going through.
I think that's the thing. A lot of people will relate to you, and when you go in raw, and you speak about your truth. Imagine somebody sitting there asking themselves, how am I going to get through this? Am I the only one that's going through this?
I get a lot of people on Instagram message me. I mean, MR2's got a little protege DJ guy that loves him, sends him beats all the time.
Really?
And he's battling through a lot of stuff. He's like 18 years old. He's doing his A levels. He's struggling. He battles with depression a little bit. But when people message me and they say like, I can really relate to that track. Thank you so much. There's a girl who actually went to school with us, and I won't talk about who it is.
No problem.
But she messaged me every time I bring a track out, and literally, on the Watch Your Boy Shine album, she said I sort of saved her a little bit with the stuff because she was really battling demons at the time, and she listened to it. So, I'm doing something right, or we're doing something right.
Absolutely.
Yes, you are.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot to be said for it, because when you hear that someone who is before you with their music and or whatever it is that they're doing, and they're speaking, and they're narrating what it is that you have walked through. Maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe there's little things that are not exactly the same, but it makes you almost feel like I'm not alone in this.
No, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people feel alone, or they feel like their thoughts are not normal, but they are.
That's the beauty of music, no?
Absolutely.
I've done it when I was growing up. I've listened to all sorts. I weren't always into my rap. I remember heavily into Oasis and people like that growing up, and I think back now, and I can imagine myself with my skin tight jeans. Well, I've got one today. Reliving the youth. But I was listening to some different stuff then, and then when I got to 18, 19, started listening to garage, and then obviously grime after that. So that's where it all sort of started, and I'm just, I'm really thankful and really blessed that our paths crossed, me and MR2, because I think if that hadn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened, if I'm honest, because I needed a big kick up the arse, and he certainly done that.
It's beautiful when you align with people.
It's in my head. I was literally just thinking, you guys truly align.
It's the truth.
It's like you two and us two. It's like,
it's perfect, if anything. So how long ago did you actually meet then?
Do you want me? Let me pass you MR2. Let me get him on. You can have a chat with him.
MR2.
Welcome.
Good morning, ladies.
Radio, you have the voice.
Yeah, I'm used to this.
Yes,
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, you are. Welcome.
So when did we meet? 2018, 19 was it? I met his sister, and we started dating. And obviously I met Rebz shortly after. And I don't think we started talking about music too soon, but obviously it's a big part of both of our lives, So inevitably we were going to get onto that subject.
Absolutely.
And I'd kind of not produced anything for a couple of years before I met Rebz. I was a bit disjointed because I used to be a drum and bass producer. I've been into hip hop since about 89, 90, so that is my kind of underlying passion. But I did the drum and bass jungle thing through the 90s and the 2000s, did a lot of pirate radio and stuff. And I got a little bit, I fell out of love with the music scene,
I hear that.
What made you fall out of love with the music
just
scene?
The pressure of it, it can be a very cutthroat industry, and there's a lot of people out there that will walk all over you, just to get what they want, and there's a lot of ego flying around. And I know a lot of people say this, but I'm not that kind of guy. I do it for the love of it. I don't care whether I earn any money out of this. As long as I enjoy doing it, I am good.
And I think that will contribute to why you guys are doing so.
Exactly.
Well.
There's the equal amount of passion from both sides.
Exactly. Yeah, you're doing it for the love.
But Rebz was talking about me kicking him up the arse. Excuse my French.
No,
but it worked the other way round. I needed the same, And we have been blessed, what with COVID and everything, and not been a very nice time. We have been blessed to have that amount of free time to get this done, because we've recorded 2 albums by ourselves.
Fantastic.
And we recorded another album for a guy called G Unit Capo, who's in America, who's used to be affiliated with 50 Cent. Thank you.
I never got to meet Fiddy though.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, we never got to meet Fiddy, but maybe one day. You know?
It's coming. It's coming. And he'll get to meet you guys.
Yes.
That's the way. Yeah.
Come on, guys, I need to meet you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can't wait.
He can't wait. Of course not. And if he don't know, he's gonna know.
He's gonna know.
Seriously.
No, I might be in power.
You know it's coming. Let's speak that power. Come on.
Yes.
It's coming. It's coming.
What, is he running for president, isn't he? First Kanye and now Fiddy, yeah?
I tell you. So basically, you guys were what each other needed in that moment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, the good thing is with Rebz is he gets it done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the main reason why I love working with him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll write a beat, and he's like, I'm going to go and... to be honest, he's written the lyric before I finish the beat. So it's not difficult, you know? It's so easy.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it took us a year to put Irritable Vowel Syndrome, the new album, together.
Yeah.
About a year.
You see, I think that's quick.
So I was gonna say
It didn't feel quick, sorry.
No, it's what I was gonna say. That's quite quick, but it's because you guys were motivating and inspiring each other. Do you think it was quick, or do you think it was?
I thought it took us longer than it needed to. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist.
Okay.
I'll go back and change things.
Yeah.
Or I'll get Rebz to spit something a little differently.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you need to say it this way. Maybe you need to drop that line. So we kind of went back and tweaked it a lot.
Yeah.
But if we got there eventually, see, I was learning on the job as well, you know, because I've been doing hip hop beats for about 15 years. Okay, wow. So I've put in 10,000 hours of practice, but I've never found an MC that I wanted to work with or that was good enough that I thought to go over my beats.
Okay.
So the whole recording, mixing vocals and everything, you know, that was new to me. So I had to learn all that, you know, compression techniques, effects, stuff like that.
How did you find learning? That's the sound engineering part. How did you find?
I love it.
It's cool, right?
I love it. If I'm not learning something, I have to learn something. It's the same with my day job, you know. As long as I'm learning, I'm interested.
Yeah,
that's it.
The amazing things you can do with one effect alone.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what software did you use or do you use?
We use Ableton.
Ableton?
For everything. I've never used anything else. I love it.
Ableton is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I use a lot of the Waves plugins as well.
Waves.
Which are really good. They're industry standard,
They are.
you know. So once you learn how to... Getting a bit tongue-tied here. Once you learn how to do it...
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's like falling off a log. Yeah, exactly.
It's smooth. Know. With Ableton, because you can use that for DJing as well. Did you use Ableton for DJing?
I've never used it for DJing. I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to DJing. I like my vinyl.
Okay,
I love my vinyl.
nice.
Yeah, I'm old school like that, you know.
Okay.
That's so cool.
Tell us what got you into music. What was the beginning for you?
I grew up in a very musical family. My mum was big on Motown, ska, and my dad was the opposite. He was into rock and stuff like that, you know. So I was always around. Exactly. Yeah. So
love that.
Yeah. So I was probably about. What year did Street Tough by Rebel MC come out? 88.
Do you know what?
88. I think it was.
88 or 87.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh my God.
I was very young at the time, but that was the first 45 I ever had. And I can remember the day where I threw all my toys away and I thought, this is what I want to do.
I love that.
Yeah?
Wow.
I love that.
Before I left school, I wanted to DJ. I was obsessed with pirate radio. That's all I wanted to do. So I'd like to say it was in my blood.
Yes. I'd like to agree with that. I'd like to agree with that.
Thank you.
And here we are. Like, seriously, that is a story in itself.
Yeah. And I'm still plugging away, you know. 30 years later, I'm still plugging away.
That's fantastic.
You know, but we're finally making some moves now.
Which
is what it's all about.
Absolutely. And the fact that I love what you guys said in the beginning, that the money is not the focus, it's the passion.
No. Yeah. I mean, a little bit of financial reward would be nice.
No, absolutely.
But the money will come.
But if that's the thing that leads with anything, I just think like it never works if that is always what you're looking at.
It's an external pressure you don't need.
Yes.
You know, it clouds my creative process, and I'll speak on behalf of Rebz because I'm pretty sure he'd agree with me.
Yeah.
You guys are independent, so what made you choose to be independent rather than go into the industry that can rip people off?
Horror stories.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I've been around music for a long time, so I've been around people that have got to a certain level, and Yeah, I didn't like it. I'm all for. I love entrepreneurs.
I hear that.
And I keep badgering Rebz up. We've got to do this independently, man. We've got to build our own empire, you know. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be easy. Exactly. Now is the time to do it, you know.
You're hearing so much success stories about people that are doing it independently. And the fact that you have the control over everything.
That is the most important thing, is creative control.
All that freedom with industries. They give you a timeline. They give you, when they say they're giving you money, in reality it's just a loan.
That's right. They're going to recoup that money, you know.
And that's why a lot of artists end up owing money.
It's the truth.
Yeah. So being independent is definitely the best way to go. I love that completely.
Yeah. We've got full control.
Fantastic.
Love that.
Do you want the mic back, Rebz? I feel like I'm hogging it. Well, it depends. If you finish...
Never. You're going to be coming back on. We're going to keep
rotating.
I'd love to hear about how you feel about being independent, Alex, and what that means for you.
Okay, let's get this back on. Hello. Right, so first of all, I thought getting signed was the biggest thing that we needed to do. It was the way everyone made it, because I didn't really understand how the market worked. He told me, no, you don't want that. I promise you it's not good. But I wouldn't listen first of all. I was like, right, got to do this. Then when Capo Santana G-Unit come in, and he messaged me and went, I want you on this track called China White. And
can we just stop for a minute, right? Because I remember this.
I'm to say it again as well.
I remember messaging you again on Facebook saying, excuse me?
Yeah. Mate, trust me.
He just said he contacted you again.
That's what he said?
Yeah, I think the listeners need to hear him say it.
Again.
Yeah,
and maybe not so fast.
He's one of many. Without showing off, I could literally tell you some of the people that I've had messages from. It's crazy.
Can I just, sorry to stop you, it's not showing off. You guys are talented.
Right.
So why wouldn't they want you?
It's funny though, because every time I get a message, I run into Mike and I'm like, and he's like, oh yeah, right, yeah. Well, it's Fat Joe, isn't it? Or it's the game. There's been Jada Kiss. There's been so many. Cassidy. I obviously was on his mixtape. Anyone who don't know, he done the track Hotel with R. Kelly.
Yes, that's right.
So look, there's been a lot of good stuff happen. But the reason I wanted to stay independent is because of the experience I had when I was signed. When I was signed, it felt like it was all take. There was no give to me. Everything was take. I mean, we got told we had to produce or we had to mix down and record an album in, was it 1 weekend?
Pretty much.
And it was like 8 tracks in 3 days. And bearing in mind I had the children that weekend, so I was trying to, that was an eventful weekend.
Oh my God.
I was trying to balance the children. My sister downstairs looking after them. She was having mares with my middle one, creating. So I was literally trying to record my verse, looking at my phone, like trying to deal with the little one. So that really made me think, do you know what, we can do this. And off of the back of that, the first track we done independently after the Capo Santana, we went to, I think, number 12 in the charts with Prison My Mind with Gio Martinez. So we sort of looked at each other and was like, do you know what, we don't need anyone. Don't need anyone. We didn't know if that was a one-off, so then we brought out a pre-album release, Cold Rider remix, and that went in at number 8 in the chart straight away. And we was like, hang on, this is becoming like, this is reoccurring.
Right.
And then obviously the album dropped, and then that went straight in at number 2. I mean, at one point I was sitting above some of my heroes. Like there was, I see Eminem there, I see 50 in there, I see Snoop, NWA. There was, Wu-Tang. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So
that must have been like a very surreal moment for you.
The first time was the most surreal. I think by the album, it wasn't that it was surreal. I just honestly was so gassed that people were that keen on our music. It just meant so much to me. I was like, God, they actually really do like us. You know what I mean? It's mad, but
do you know, really also doing what he's supposed to be doing. They're both doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Exactly, and with music as well, because it comes from you. That means that they are embracing you.
Yes.
And they want to hear more about you guys.
Yes.
Because music is, they're our babies.
Yeah.
When you make a beat, they're your babies. That's what I'm saying. I understand what you mean about when you make a hip hop beat and then you want the right person and it's hard to find the right person to be on there. It just doesn't always connect.
I don't like working with anyone else's beats. I mean, there's one guy I do work with, Silky G. And the reason I do is he makes garage. So Mike or
Big up
MR2. I
Silky.
keep calling him his name. MR2 don't he don't touch Garrett. Like he went to make a drum and bass track once for me, and I listened to it and I was like, oh, it's so quick, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spit that quick. But with the garage, I'll work with Silky G or Influence Badly for the garage every now and then. But when it comes to hip hop, I don't work with anyone else because every time he will make a beat, MR2, he'll send it to me. I don't think there's been one time he sent me a track that I've turned around and said, I hate it. I've always turned around and said, I really like it. There's something about that one. And then we work with it. And I think vice versa. I don't ever remember MR2 saying to me, I really don't like that lyric. But he will say to me, he's very constructive. He'll say, that line, you got too many, like, how many times you said that? Too many words in that sentence. You need to take a couple of them out. People need to understand what you're saying. So he's very helpful with that.
I can see there's a massive element of trust between the both of you. And a massive understanding of where you're going and your goals. That shines through in your conversation. It's more, for me, what I'm seeing here is a brotherhood. Would I be right to say that?
Of course.
I can really see that. It's so transparent. And obviously the decisions that you're making are beneficial to the pair of you. And you're on the right path.
Yeah, feels like it.
Question, when you guys made the choice to work together, did you sit down, have a meeting, have a discussion? You just went with it?
No, it was mad. We just literally, I think we had a quick chat, went on holiday. And I think it was there I just started writing started writing again properly. And then I think when we come back, we sort of cracked on with Watch Your Boy Show and we just started doing it. But at that point, MR2 made the beats indoors, but we went to Cafe Music in Bow. Because at that point, I hope you don't mind me saying this, he didn't feel as confident to do the whole sound engineering, mixing down, blah, blah, blah. But once we went there and done that album, it was funny because he listened to it and he was like, well, you know what? I can actually do that better. And there he does. And that's no offence to Cafe Music. I mean,
totally.
the guy there is brilliant. But I trust him with everything, like start to finish on the music. I'd rather go with someone that I fully trust with my life. I mean, come on, he's marrying my sister. Like, you know, so I trust him. I trust him.
We love a bit of love here.
So, like, why wouldn't I trust him? His family.
Totally. That's beautiful. Can we play? We're gonna play something. We're gonna play. Sorry, I'm gonna have to play something off the album because we're talking about it and it's just flowing so beautifully. Tell me what's important, Big Rebz.
Oh, that's a tune.
Listen, get ready, people.
I started off as a lookout. They'd get me going round on the little runs and that. Then at the end of the day, the older lot would slap 20 quid in my hand. And I'd go home feeling like a legend.
Real life, no Sims, husband and wife thing. 9 to 5's a bumpy ride, take more L's than I win. 3 kids and a hefty mortgage, we can't afford this. Council house is boarded, tell me what's important. Real life, no Sims, husband and wife thing. 9 to 5's a bumpy ride, take more L's than I win. 3 kids and a hefty mortgage, we can't afford this. Council house is boarded, so tell me what's important,
Been crafting, making papers, love life is bare, it's naked. Anxiety, hands are shaking, priorities top boy status. I'm juggling change, I'm living my days deranged. My man's blocked like Jenny, I'll rob them banks like Benny. And I've shot them, at dawn, but don't call me Lenny. I forgot them memories, dark and past, been plagued by many. Eyes on the front of my head, I just keep walking forward. Had to share of my deaths, but my fam supports us. Sons and daughters, kept afloat in these deep end waters. Life of alcohol, uncut apes and boshed up still. See what's important, check that mirror, reflect the torment. Breathe the air like Jordan, angel demons, bro, I've saw them. I've been real from morning, dealt cards in the world we're born in. Council house is boarded, bare kids and that hefty mortgage. I've been real from day, dealt cards in a world that's grey. 90% on minimum wage, life gets dark with pain.
Real life, no Sims, husband and wife thing. 9 to 5's a bumpy ride, take more L's than I win. 3 kids and a hefty mortgage, we can't afford this. Council house is boarded, tell me what's important. Real life, no Sims, husband and wife thing. 9 to 5's a bumpy bumpy ride, take more L's than I win. 3 kids and a hefty mortgage, we can't afford this. Council house is boarded, so tell me what's important, yeah.
Eyes red like the food bank slip, still too damn slick. You'll have to excuse the rude language, but I've been through madness. The cycle of pain goes round till it's broken or breaks those in it. So I write these lyrics and hold on to her image, trying to smile through the grimace. Let me take you around, bruv, I'll show you exactly what grim is. No crown, but I exemplify what a king is. As your God is my witness. So many devils in business, so many devilish ish. Me and my angel, trying to build heaven on earth. But I'll take anything stable. With the chaos, I know what it's worth, just to get food on the table. Trust me, I put in the work. I planted the seed, watered the pot, hands in the dirt, pruning the crop. Wait till it fruits and share what I got. It's not a lot, but it's love. That's all I need and I'm good. Couple of gigs and I'm gone. Building a house in the woods. You learn what's right when it all goes wrong. And there's no point talking. Just you and your Todd. That's when you're purging, you work out what's important.
Real life, no Sims, husband and wife thing. 9 to 5's a bumpy ride, take more L's than I win. 3 kids and a hefty mortgage, we can't afford this. Council house is boarded, tell me what's important. Real life, no Sims, husband and wife thing. 9 to 5's a bumpy ride, take more L's than I win. 3 kids and a hefty mortgage, we can't afford this. Council house is boarded, so tell me what's important, yeah.
Was doing, and the older we got, the less easily they could be impressed by me, like flashing money about. But I kept thinking, you know, fuck them, like I'm helping my mum and sister, and that's all that matters.
If you're not in the know, you need to get to know. Check out Big Rebz via Instagram and all music platforms. Listen. Tell me what's important. That song is a narrative within itself. If you didn't hear the words, make sure you go and download the song and listen to the words and see if you can relate and share that sugar. Share it with the people. Need to hear it. People need to hear it, seriously, because if you don't know, share that sugar, boy. You can take that, share that sugar.
Sugar that you can have.
Absolutely.
But there could be some more sugar if they ask.
Hey, listen, there could be.
The tune has got soul, man.
Listen.
Plenty of soul.
Listen.
That tune originally had a drum track to it, and we were like, you know what, we're going to take the drums out.
That is perfect.
Because I think that tune appeals not only to a hip hop crowd, but a soul crowd, an R&B crowd, and originally Rebz wrote the hook, and Laura Mason came in and sung it.
Okay.
You know, so he wrote all of, well, apart from Stig's verse, he wrote all that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So big up Lauren and big up Stig for that one.
Big up Lauren.
That's definitely one of my favourite tunes.
Lauren, if you're listening, contact us, send us a DM via Sisterhood. It'd be good to chat to you.
Come over.
Definitely, there's a space. I just want to have a chat about your upcoming nuptials. I love Unity. I just love
it. Are you listening, Lauren?
Are you listening? I just love it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations. Blessings, honour and power to your future marriage, man.
We got engaged in Paris since 2020, about a month before COVID hit.
Okay.
So, yeah, we haven't been able to do much about it since then. But we're due to move into our first home in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Congratulations.
So once we're done nesting, that's the next thing on the agenda.
Beautiful.
You know?
Gosh, that's so beautiful.
I know.
In Paris. That's like every woman's dream.
Yeah.
Okay. I bet you got like 1 million brownie points, yeah?
You did it.
Oh, of course. Well, I don't want to speak on her behalf, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I
feel it. Yeah. I'm vibing it right now.
Yeah. Rebz knew about it for months before. Oh, and I'm pretty sure she knew what was going on.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah.
Well done.
I was like looking at her.
She's reading your mind.
I thought she made out that I told her at one point.
I think so, yeah.
We're good at that
she was playing mind games.
Yeah, we're good at that.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think that was going to be something that was going to happen to me, you know, because I'd been in a lot of relationships before and they all ended amicably, but they didn't work out for one reason or another, you know, but it's right with Lauren, you know, it just feels good, you know.
It's sick. I have a question. How are you able to do the music and be in relationships, and for women to understand, obviously you're a DJ, you've got to do all these things.
Yeah.
How was there an understanding?
It's all about structuring your time in the right way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as we said before, we can lay a track within 90 minutes. I can start the beat, he can write the lyrics, and we'll get it laid down. Like Lonely Boy off the new album was the last track we put on there, and that took us about, what do you reckon, an hour? And it's one of the best tunes on the album.
I was laying on the bed stroking the dog.
Yeah.
But writing lyrics while he was building, he went, "Have you got anything else?" Like, yeah, right, the hook.
But to go back to your question,
That's
it's about structuring your time in the right way.
Yeah.
It's about picking your moments and making sure that everybody's happy.
Yeah.
But we're not in the studio all day. We're not. I mean, I'd like to think of myself. I'm not a workhorse producer.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not building 20 beats a day in the studio
I hear
because I wouldn't be able to do it. So when I feel inspired, I'll go in.
Yeah.
And then we're out again within 2 hours. But we'll do it on a regular basis. So we've got like a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
You know? We've already got 5 or 6 instrumentals ready. He's probably got the lyrics written down already, you know. So we're good to go on an EP within a couple of months.
I think that's a healthy way to do it as well, because I've been in the studio all day and you get cabin fever.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody's recording, you start off like, okay, come on guys, this is really good too. Come on, we've been here for 7 hours.
True.
Just say the word there.
It's like being in the studio with Dre or something.
It's intense. So it's good that you guys have a healthy balance in then out.
Yeah.
In and out.
Well, she'd kick my ass anyway if I was up there all day, you know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
But I can imagine when it is the right one, when it's right, it's right.
That's
They
it.
understand.
Right.
Yeah.
And they support, and then plus you're with her brother. Like you guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing, and it's just a beautiful thing.
It works.
Yeah,
works.
absolutely. So again, congratulations.
Thank
We
you.
just love some
Thank you
love
very
for
much.
you at A Real Sisterhood. We just love it.
When you guys are talking about making that song in an hour,
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen this video. It's of Marvin Gaye, and he's singing live, and he's laying on the sofa, and he's singing "I Want You."
Right.
And he's got a live band in the background, and
I've seen it.
and he's just chilling.
Yeah.
And then he's and you're sitting there thinking,
Writing it
wait,
down.
is he really just relaxing right now and singing to the utmost?
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
That's like a natural talent that's just
I don't think I've ever been compared to Marvin Gaye before.
there you go.
I like that. I like that. I should come in more often.
Do you know, I think to myself, so in your unity in understanding each other and how things flow, there's respect in the studio, so you know that your time is not consumed by just being there and writing music. But I'm sure there must be times as well where you actually think, oh, I don't want to stop this. Like, you know, when you're in your creative flow and you just want to keep going. How do you guys rein each other in?
I think we always go into the studio with a plan. We never go in and freestyle it, so we know once the work is done, it's done. There are times when I want to carry on. There's been times when everyone goes to bed and I'll sit up till 1 o'clock in the morning with it down low. Because you like to mix it, master it down low so it doesn't hurt my ears. Because I've got that bass pumping through my ears for 3 or 4 hours. I'm an old boy now, so I get tired.
It's not good for your ears, either. No,
You know.
It's not, yeah. Okay, so what did you guys find the most challenging on your journey? Like, what was the most challenging aspect of it? If there were any challenging aspects.
I mean, they always say your sophomore album is the most tricky.
Okay.
You know, so this was the second album we'd started on.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't sort of like just write a bunch of tunes and then think, oh, we could make an album out of this. We set out to make an album from the off.
Okay.
The first album was 10 tunes. This one is 19, right?
Yes.
God.
So it was a lot of work. You
And
know?
that's really old school. You're supposed to have a good amount of album
Yes.
songs and that on the track.
But you don't hear that as much anymore.
don't.
No, you don't. Well, people don't listen to albums in their entirety
yeah,
now. They
yeah,
just listen to 1 or 2 tracks,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
They can download the ones they like and leave the ones they don't, which I don't agree with, but hey-ho,
Yeah, I hear
sign of
that.
the times.
I hear that. How did it feel when the album went to number 2?
I can't tell you. It's been like a month. I honestly don't know how I feel about it because it's just crazy. I never thought. I mean, like I said, we're a couple of guys working from the bedroom.
Yeah.
This is like old school 90s hardcore jungle style, you know. We're working from the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, we put there's about $1,000 worth of equipment in my bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, real skinny setup.
Yeah.
And then people are like sending us videos from America, Australia, like loving it, and it's like it's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you.
Like,
It'll kick in when you guys are in your mansion, and even then, it might not even kick in properly. You know, like
I don't. If it's not kicked in by now, I don't think it will. You know, it's crazy. It is really surreal.
Yeah.
You know, that's very cliche to say, but you know what? That's how it
it's the
feels.
honest truth.
It's the truth. We have these discussions all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Like,
It's like we can't believe life sometimes.
Yeah,
You just feel blessed.
When you make these emotional and physical and career checkpoints, again, so I'm going by checkpoints, but you make these checkpoints and you get me just like, hang on.
I know.
Did this happen?
Are we really
doing this?
That happens a lot.
A lot.
And then you get to, you know, you dream about getting somewhere for so long.
Yeah.
You get there, and then once you get there, like, I don't mean to like play it down, but it's never feels quite how you thought it would feel.
Yes.
So immediately you're like, what's the next thing?
I hear that.
What's the next
that's
thing?
your artistic creativity, right? As
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's like there's always going to be that next point.
Yeah.
There's always going to be wanting something more.
Creativity and belligerence.
Yeah.
You know?
When I first started my job at the Royal College of Music, I got out of the car and I saw the Royal Albert Hall and I was like, I'm gonna conduct in there.
Yeah, nice.
That's what happened. It happened.
Really?
Yeah, it happened. Hey,
That's big. That's big.
It happened a few times, and when I was there, I remember going through the doors. Yes, get in. Okay, I'm through the doors now. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I'm on stage. Okay, wait. Okay, this is it.
It's work, isn't it? It feels like work,
It's
man.
work. So
Yeah.
what's next? And I was like, okay, so now it needs to be a point where it's my own choir and it's named after my name, and this is what happens. But
And it's here.
We're already doing this.
I'm telling you.
It's done.
What's happening?
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's about when you get there. Is okay. I've done it now. It's like when people ask you, okay, well, how do you feel about all the things that you've done? It's like, well, I was working. Mm-hmm. It was, I was playing. We called it play.
Yeah.
I watched an interview years ago from Kara's One, yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he said something very profound.
Yes.
He said, the truth is, you'd never make it.
Oh.
You never make it.
I feel like
that's
that is a mic
deep.
drop moment.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute, yeah?
Listen. That is the truth.
That is the truth.
Exactly.
It's always
You
the
never
next
do.
What you can do.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me going.
Yes.
There's always more.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to get to the point where I think I've got nothing else to learn.
No, I hear that.
No.
You know?
I feel like when we get there, we're gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like that's when we leave, and that is not.
It would literally be like my soul leaving my body.
Yes.
You know?
Always learning.
Yes.
Look, you learned how to be a sound engineer in the space of how long? Do you see
It's
what
the
I mean?
truth.
You guys have an album at number 2 in the space of how long? Always continuing, never stopping.
Absolutely.
And when you enjoy what you're doing, you don't want to stop.
I just thought of something. So each time you release something, it's higher each and every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've made sure that everything bangs through the level of what we've released before.
100.
You know, there's got to be something. What did we do last time?
Yes.
Or what didn't we do last time? What can we do next time?
Yes.
Otherwise, we're going to become very formulaic.
100%.
And we're going to get bored.
100%.
So we have to keep adding more ingredients into the pot.
I
you know?
love that.
Do you have a...
Add in the ingredients.
Yeah, I was about... Do you know what?
Cooking
when
up
you
something
said
good.
do this, I was going to ask, do you have like a methodology in regards to how you produce and how you write? Is there a methodology? You start with the kick? How do you go about it?
When I first started writing beats, I was all about the drums.
Yeah.
I probably worked on the science of chopping drums and compressing drums for about 18 months.
Okay.
You know, just so I had it down, you know, so I could get my stuff to sound like Premier or Pete Rock or Dilla or whoever, you know.
Yeah.
And I always used to start with the drums, but the problem I find when I start working with the drums, I find it hard to get a sample to fit those drums.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I start off with my sample, and I've got a slew of drums in my sample folder, right?
Ooh.
So what I'll do, you know, Ableton, you can audition the drums underneath the sample tracks. I'll go through all the drums and I'll find the drum kit that suits the sample, and that's how I can get it to sound the way I want it to sound.
Do you know what?
That I find that
there's a science behind it.
absolutely there's a science behind it. Yeah.
That sampling challenge, that's true, because I produce on Logic. And we used to have this really good sample plugin called the EX2S4, and you could make it work. But one of the songs I made, I used the bass from Leon Ware, "Rocking You Eternally."
Right.
That bass is beautiful, and I remember messing about with it for ages and thinking, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Then having to actually chop the sample. It's a process.
Sampling's tough, man. People think, you make hip hop, you sample stuff, you're just nicking somebody else's music. That's not true, man. I mean, you can do a Puff Daddy and just loop stuff. Do you know what I mean? But to go in like you you think of a Pete Rock beat.
But you know what? I will say.
Are you saying that I just inbox, Alex?
No offense to P Diddy, by the way.
I will say, P Diddy, he's got a methodology and it works.
Well, he's been successful, so we can't knock him for that.
He always finds the bass from a bad boy 80s.
That's
Mary
true.
Jane goes, and there's another one, Eric Burke or something Burke.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of the Juicy for Biggie Smalls.
Yes.
The old M2 track that he sampled for that. You know, it's just a straight loop.
It's just straight, and he took Silver Stripling, "You Can't Turn Me Away."
Right.
He took for a Biggie track, and it's just.
I mean, the guy's a genius. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad now.
This is constructive criticism. This is not like negativity. It's the truth.
The point I was making is, you got like a producer like Pete Rock, where he'll sample 4 different records and put them together to make a tune.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
That is like next level, you know, and to make that sound like it's a band playing it, but he sampled 4 different tunes.
That's a skill.
That's a next level. You know?
Absolutely. To get those samples to work together is difficult. That is that, and your mind will go.
Your musical ear has to be so in tune.
Well, this is the thing. I'm not musically trained at all. You know,
but you are though. You trained yourself.
Yeah, I've trained myself, but a lot of producers that I've worked with in the past, they've got no idea about key.
No,
you know, they'll put stuff in, and I'm like,
yeah.
But it's like pickup. I called it pickup truck production. I probably lifted that from someone, so interview from somewhere, but they just whack it all together.
I'm with you.
You know.
Yeah.
Tell me, so what advice would you give up and coming producers? Like what? Yeah, give us a nugget for them.
That's an easy one to answer.
All right.
Practice.
Hey.
Put in your 10,000 hours. I mean, I don't know whether I've done 10,000 hours, but I must be well on the way by now.
Yeah.
You know, don't expect things to come quickly. Hone your sound, and you know what, if you start out and you're a biter and you just sound like everybody else, I did when I first started. I sounded like Premier. I sounded like, well, I like to think I sounded like Premier, you know, but I was almost sampling the same records he was using and then flipping them my way, but they were, let's be honest, they were rubbish, you know.
We all got to start, right?
Exactly. But you just keep practicing. Don't expect things to come too soon. Make sure that after a little while, you'll find your sound eventually. I'm not sure if I've found, I mean, I think working with Rebz, I've definitely honed it down.
Okay.
I definitely like the soulful, melancholy kind of style, you know? I like it to be a bit dreamy. One of Rebz's good friends said that it reminded him of like Balearic, Ibiza kind of jazz kind of stuff.
Love that vibe.
I'm big on my jazz. I love my jazz. I love a bit of saxophone, you know? I love a bit of upright bass, you know?
Saxophone,
Saxophones are beautiful, man.
They're
always looking for a sax sample just to finish it off. You know,
we may be able to send some people your way.
Yeah, actually,
you've got some
eventually. Sorry, I'm waffling away. But eventually, I would love to work with real musicians. That's the goal. You know,
isn't it? There's nothing like live musicians.
You said a choir as
love
well.
it.
I'd love to have a choir doing that.
You know, we were watching the Kanye West series the other day. When he gets to the what track was it, Rebz?
Was it Jesus Walks?
Maybe Jesus Walks, when he's got the full choir, he's got like 50 people in there.
It was his one with the teeth, when you see the picture.
Oh, Through the Wire.
Through the Wire.
That was so good.
And you know what? It's incredible. You know, just to be able to command. I mean, you did that with Lauren Mason on What's Important. You wrote the lyrics. You've had another artist bring your lyrics and your ideas to life. For me, I haven't had that yet. So if I'm in the studio and I've got a whole heap of musicians around me and I'm like, right, okay, you play this, you play that. I'm like Beethoven, you know?
It's a beauty. I did that once or twice. I wrote a full orchestration and then gave it to an orchestra to play.
That's big, man.
And hearing them play.
How does that feel? Let me fire a question at you. You said you've conducted in the Albert Hall. Tell me how that feels.
Conducting in the Royal Albert Hall, standing there, I thought to myself, this is where Janet Jackson stood.
No pressure then.
I feel like I need to start doing Rhythm Nation. It's like you keep saying, it's surreal. Hearing the orchestra, I did this at a different event, hearing the orchestra play what I had written. It took me a month. I wrote for all the instruments.
That's crazy.
And then my choir sang with them. I wrote orchestration for a Michael Jackson Thriller, and there's this part where you hear the and you hear the strings doing. I was like, oh my god, I can't take this. This is insane. And it's like a drug. It's addictive.
I think I would cry. I seriously would.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, because that's massive. I remember, just to say, like, I've got to big her up, because when I asked her about what she done, she started to give me little snippets. I said, can you write down what you have achieved, please? The list is outstanding. And I just think that it's all about giving people their flowers. It's not about showing off. I don't see it like that. I see it like, look, if you've achieved this, celebrate it.
Celebrate it once you've achieved it, not before you've achieved it.
100%.
Don't have that
Allow yourself to have that moment.
100%.
Done it. Have you guys celebrated? Did you guys celebrate when your album went to number 2?
With a cup of tea.
Well, see, I don't drink, you know. Like, he likes to have a drink. Like,
For him.
he'll have mine. He buys me beers. They'll still be in the fridge like 6 weeks later. But yeah, we do. Like, we kind of like give ourselves a pound. And, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, we're like, yeah, well done.
But that's actually what we do, isn't it? We just
we're very humble with it. You know, we don't. It's difficult. You know, it's like we're always thinking about what's coming next.
Well, when the number 1 comes in, I suggest the lads' holiday.
But maybe there's something we should learn there. Maybe we should celebrate a little bit more.
Celebrate.
You know?
That I truly believe when you get past certain things, when you achieve certain things, celebrate.
100%.
Have a meal.
100%.
Go to Miller's and Carter's. Do you know what I mean?
This is her favourite spot.
Yeah.
She's going to have shares in it soon, I swear.
locked in.
Who?
Nephew.
Archie?
No, Al. Alex.
Al, how you doing, Al? Lil Marsh.
Oh,
big up.
Welcome.
Shout out to Molly.
Shout out.
Hola. Okay.
He's taller than me.
Oh, really?
He's a big boy.
Okay, we're going to swap.
Let's see, I was about to say, I've been talking for long enough.
I might sit down then. It's easier when you sit down. Getting old, man.
Tell us.
All banging.
How did you feel when it went to number 2?
Hey, me.
Come on, Ali.
I'm one of these ones, right? I'll never change. I was refreshing the charts every 10 minutes. So I was like, I went into work because I still have to, like, at the moment, like, this don't pay enough for me to totally retire. We probably could, but I've got a nice job there, so I'll continue doing that. But I'm sitting in there flicking, like, refresh, and all of a sudden I see it go number 2, and I was like, oh my god! Screenshotted it, run around the office, every single person in there. I was like, you're number 2, and I've got a couple of really good mates. Gio's in there as well. Like, I work with Gio,
fantastic.
so I showed Gio, and he was just like, man, that's so big. He was like, honestly, he went, no one deserves this more. And I was like, I appreciate that. Sent it to MR2, and he was just like, that's just. Night. I think you put something like Noise or something like that. he's so like grounded. Whereas with me, I was just like, come on, have it.
I remember seeing when you posted it on Facebook, and I was gonna write, and then I thought, no, I've got to send him a direct message. Like humongous.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Nice.
I think what MR2 was saying about it hasn't sunk in properly yet. I don't think it ever truly does. I think when we got in the charts last time, I was really, really like excited about it. It was big.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's ever. And the next time we went higher, and the next time we've gone higher again, I don't think it's
climbing
really.
ladders.
Yeah, I don't think it's really set in yet. But it's mad. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And it just shows like there's so many supporters out there who are actually buying into what we do.
Absolutely.
I can't say how much, like, honestly, I appreciate that so much. Like,
100%.
just anyone, I buy into people, and I always support all independent artists. If someone sends me a message saying my track's going out, I'll go and buy that track to support them straight away. And to get that back is just amazing.
Absolutely. It's a testament of your craft and what you're doing. There's something that stood out to me that I'm going to ask you about. It's your Mother's Day freestyle.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to share what I shared in the break, so I was at home doing some work and so my mother, she's passed on, and I just had a feeling to go to Instagram. And the first post that I saw was your Mother's Day freestyle.
Yeah.
Can you please share with us how that came about?
Well, basically, MR2 went out with my sister. Like they're sorting a load of stuff out at the moment, so they went out for the day. My eldest daughter, who lives with me, she went out to her mum's on that day. So I was sitting there on my own with the dog. Yeah. So I was just, don't know what to do, and I thought, you know what? It's Mother's Day. Yeah. I have not wrote a freestyle to my mum, not about, to my mum.
I understand.
For years. Yeah. So I literally
beautiful soul, your mum. I remember
she was
her.
Unbelievable.
I
honestly.
remember her.
She, like, a lot of people still message me now to talk about her. She was just such a good. She taught me a lot. You know, like she found it hard. She had we had quite a difficult stepfather, but she done so much. She was working 2 jobs, like her fingers to the bone. We'd never go without. Yeah. As I was saying to you before, like how hard it was, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but how hard it was growing up, like in Hainault with yourself, going to school there. I mean, I remember not even good trainers, Charlotte. We're talking. My mum was busting pairs of matchsticks. Like, I don't even know if you can get them anymore.
You can't. High techs and all of that. I remember.
4 sizes too big for me. I remember my trainers broke and they were talking. 4 sizes. I walked in looking like Krusty the Clown.
Listen, we laugh and it's true though.
It is.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But I think that's what made us different in that school. And I'm not saying that not everyone went, because I know a lot of people were going through shit there.
Absolutely.
But I think some people had it. I think that we had a slightly different outside life that people, and at that age people don't know about it, and you don't talk about it. You just crack on with it. And it's only when you start getting older that you realise how difficult it was compared to others.
Absolutely.
But I think it's what's made us more grounded.
100%. And more understanding of other people in their walks.
I always want to help people. I want to help everyone.
100%.
You know? At work, people come up to me and they're like, I've got an issue or whatever, and they like, why don't we go to HR? They come to me because it's like Daddy Alex. Like,
I hear that. And people know where it's safe. People know where there's a safe space to share. And I don't take that for granted. Like, I see that as an honour. And to know that you have carried it on, I've seen it. Even though we haven't met, but I've seen it online. I've spoken to you directly, and it's beautiful that you've been that you've grown in that space. So when you wrote the freestyle, and you wrote, it's like a direct open letter. There was so much love in it. Explain the emotion.
You know, when I start, I don't stop. It's weird. I'll write the first line is the hardest part. It's trying to find something that you want to say, and then after that it just flows. It's like turning on a tap. It just comes and comes and comes and comes. But I just wanted to get that point across to, you know, she done well with me, man. She done a good job. Obviously we all miss our mums, but you know, life, it's not that life goes on, it sort of does, but don't. Like, I'll always remember times and situations. Something will happen, I'll be like, oh, I used to do that with mum, or I wish I could pick up. Like when we got number 2, I felt like the first thing I wanted to do was call my mum. Unfortunately, there's no phone that goes to heaven at the moment, but I'm hoping they're working on it in the background. But obviously, apart from MR2 and my sister, like, my sister is my one existing.
You're really close.
She's unreal, mate. She's hard work sometimes, and I hope she's listening to this. But you know what? She's amazing. Honestly, like if you listen to the amount of times she's mentioned in my songs, even in that Mother's Day freestyle. I mention all the time because it's true. She's just a fantastic, unbelievable sister, auntie,
beautiful
mother. She's crazily good. So I
big up, sis. Seriously.
And she always seems to pick me up when I'm down. So.
I love that.
That's so lovely.
I need someone sometimes, and she's the one that I tend to go to.
I love that.
Yeah, it's good.
That's so important.
Emotional support system.
Definitely. And you know, on the tracks you get at the start, there's a bit that goes Beats by the MR2. That's her. The world famous.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Listen,
she loves it.
That is so beautiful.
She wants payment for that though. I told her that's keep saying I want payment for that. No, having it.
Go put her on the payroll. We're going to work on that. Yeah, we're going to work on that, sis. We're going to. So, come on.
No,
sorry.
When you were writing, because when our loved one passes away, people ask you, okay, well, how do you, like, how have you healed what is going on? But my thing is that sometimes the pain just becomes part of you. It becomes part of your personality.
Yes.
It becomes part of who you are. So when you was writing, what was the emotions?
I mean, look, I'm not one of these people that walk around and blame the world. I'm not one of these people who look over people and get jealous because they've got something I haven't. I go out and get whatever I need to do, and you know that's my personality. But when it comes to stuff that's close to my heart, I've always found it a lot easier to talk through my music, as opposed to sit there with someone and tell them how I'm feeling, and you know, like, oh, you know, I miss my mum today. No, I'd rather put a track down, and you know, once I do that, it's like a release. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I sat back and listened to it a couple of times, make sure it sounded good, and I started feeling, by the second time I listened, I was really feeling the lyrics. So you do get a little bit emotional about it, but it's positive because for me, I'm sending a message out there that everyone out there, you're not alone today. If you don't have a mother, like a lot of people are out there today with their mothers, but if you don't have a mother, that you're not the only one, you're not alone.
Absolutely. It's like music is your therapy.
100%. It's the reason I've been single for 4 years. I won't go near. Music is my wife.
Really?
I'm married to it. I feel like I'm cheating every time I look at something.
Seriously, do you not tell my music about what we're doing?
Get my music out of your mouth.
No, on the real, do you know what I understand?
That tickled you, didn't it?
Yes. I love that. Do you know what? On the real though, while you're in your moment of focus and creativity, like obviously nothing is going to take you off your stride, but I kind of feel like for you that when it does, you'll be the right one that understands it with you. At the moment, it's not focus. Who cares? That's fine. But right now, you've got your music, and as you say, it's your wife.
Well, that's it. I mean, I made the mistake for a lot of years rushing about. I felt like I needed something, so I was going out searching for it. Worst thing you can do. And again, MR2 helped me with that because he was like single for a while before my sister, and he said, look, you don't need to go out searching, man. If it's right, they'll come to you, or you'll meet them randomly somewhere.
I agree with that.
So
that's what Charlotte says. That's what,
and that's what I'm playing with now. I mean, ask me this in 15, 20 years' time. If I'm sitting there alone, it didn't work.
No, listen, that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
But look, I believe it will. I believe it will. I've got loads of time left. At the moment, my focus is my music, my family, like obviously my children are so important. I try to be the best father I can every day and teach them the right things. And I think I do.
It's all we can do. It's all we can do.
It's all we can do. And apart from that, and my work. I mean, I love the people I work with. You know, we set something up a few years ago on the side, and it's developed into a massive business, and it's all our friends that work there. But you have to be a rapper on your CV to get a job.
Okay.
No, you don't. I'm joking. He just, no, do you know what it is?
Listen, I was almost
it's only because there's about 3 or 4, maybe 5 rappers that work there. And 2 of them are on the album.
Can we shout? Can we shout?
Basically, we've got a company called Medilink Consulting, and what we do is supply doctors, nurses to the NHS. So like, you know, it's something we started with 3 men, 3 guys 2 years ago. Now we've got like 45 staff members. It's growing. We want to double that by the end of this year.
And you will.
That is amazing.
That is fantastic.
You are very.
So how can people find you? How can organisations find you?
Well, Medilink.
Yes.
We're on all social networks.
Fantastic.
We've got a website as well.
Brilliant.
But if there's any doctors, nurses listening, and you want a rapper to look after you, then come to me.
It's very funny. Tell me something. So, what advice would you give to up and coming artists, rappers in particular?
The same. I mean, you know, my flow and my lyrics now compared to my flow and my lyrics when I started are worlds apart. Is practice. That's all that goes into it, and focus, not getting disheartened. The one thing I would have said as well is taking criticism on board, constructive feedback. Because I find, and I used to be very cocky when I'd done my music, and if someone said I didn't quite like that, I'd be like, you know what I mean? But now, if someone says to me, I don't like that, I'll be like, why? Tell me. And they'll tell me, and I'm like, fine, let me go back and change it around. obviously that feedback may not be everyone's feedback, but I'll always take it on board, and I think that's one of the most important things in life. Everything in life you have to take on.
Constructive criticism is good.
Yeah.
Do you navigate between the constructive and the non-constructive?
I mean, to be honest, for me, if someone, I've had it before, right? Like, I'll give examples. I've had people message me saying, like, I think that one of the first things we'd done, right, someone put a comment on there, right, and it weren't constructive at all. They just turned around and said, why's my uncle rapping, right? Because my age, like, and I looked at it, and I said to MR2, I went, I'm not having that. I said, I'm not having that. Where does that kid live? Because I'm not having that. And but then from that moment, I realised that you've got idiots out there who are not constructive. But if it's constructive, like for example, if you turn around to me now and said, I like all the tunes in the album, but there's bits I don't like, and these are it, I'll be like, all right, tell us. Let's talk about it, because at the end of the day, we do this music to go out there for people to listen to. So if there's stuff we can make better, we're going to listen. We're not arrogant, you know.
Absolutely, and it shows.
Yeah. It's definitely a process, because like I keep saying, our songs are our babies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you hear somebody say, I like it, but you go, but.
Yeah. And you nurture them. Right?
Yeah, you nurture, because you help them grow, and it's the truth.
It's like a wave of disappointment. I can't lie. Like if someone says "but," you're like,
no. There's always a point of resistance, but at the same time, the inner you just knows. All right, I'm gonna have to listen, and I also think there's a way.
Yeah, it's a way to
There's
deliver.
a way to talk to people. There's a way to talk to people, and you intrinsically know when someone is for you. In a sense, but at the same time, you may not agree with everything they're saying, but that's okay. I still welcome it.
Yeah.
100%.
Because they might enlighten you to something that you didn't see initially, or they might not.
That is a very good point.
Yeah, that is.
Sometimes we make songs, or when we produce, or when we write, or whatever, we might. Like MR2 does with you, but okay, too many words in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so that is constructive.
Yeah.
And I like that. I want him to tell me them things.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I don't think we've ever fell out when we're doing music. I don't think there's ever been a point while we're doing music that we've ever sort of not seen eye to eye that bad, where it's, been detrimental to us. I mean, we've always, if he's told me, look, I don't like that, I'm like, tell me what you think I should do. He went, well, I changed them 25 words you try to put in a sentence. Because I try and get a bit Eminem-y sometimes. I start like trying to flow it. But I do sometimes maybe put a few too many in.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my point of question.
I'm
trying to say my thing.
That's because you guys are in a trusted space.
Yeah.
So you know that you are both aiming and uplifting.
He's also a one-take guy.
What? You're a one-take person?
He doesn't
normally
lines in. He does it all in one go.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's just saying in time that we've learnt. Like he'll put the beat on. I'll sit there. I'll just like.
That's very rare.
That's rare.
Yeah, no.
That is extremely rare.
It's mad.
Sorry, carry on.
Literally, I go up there but I tell him, I always say, look, I want to do free. I always want to do free.
Yeah.
But the first one I do spot on.
Yeah.
And then we always end up going back to the first one normally anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, it's mad, because that's the one I go with the emotion, and I'm putting the passion in. The second one, I've already strained my voice for a couple of minutes, so now it's a little bit.
Yeah.
And then by the third one, it's like literally.
I'm done now.
Yeah. I'm stroking the dog at that point.
It's the
like
energy.
Marvin.
I'm actually stroking the dog too. I was like,
Like Marvin.
I love that.
That's amazing, because usually it's the other way round.
Yeah.
Usually the artist, the singer, the rapper,
They get better and better.
They get better and better and better. Then you've got to comp through all these different vocal tracks. So for you, to be doing it in one take, that's outstanding.
Yeah, props.
You guys are a force.
That's fantastic.
We try.
Keep trying to tell him.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Like a force.
I do. I've started to believe in myself more now. I used to have a little bit of a confidence issue with it, and he used to get on me and be like, come on man, like you got to start. I've got a lot better, I think. But, with the music, I always used to worry what people thought.
What was that turning point for you?
Okay. Oh, why are you in my head?
Because I'm always there.
I think when stuff started to happen, when I started to see following go up, when I started to see streams go up, when I started to see charts, and we'd done that ourselves independently, I think that's when I started thinking, do you know what? we must be all right.
Yeah, man, I hear that.
So then it's not that I got cocky with it or I got arrogant with it. I just stayed the same.
It's like you started to see yourself, can I say?
You were in my head. I was literally thinking the same thing.
lived there.
Yeah, like literally.
In each other's heads.
All the time.
All the time.
Dangerous.
It's like you are coming into yourself. Not even coming. You've arrived.
Yeah.
And now you see yourself in your truest form.
I think that no matter how many times people say you're really good at something, I think it's healthy to have an element of doubt in your head so you can always put that extra effort in. I want to give 110%, not 50.
Absolutely.
So I put the element there so I can just push myself a little bit further.
Absolutely.
There's always a little tiny bit there.
Do you know what? I hear what you're saying and I agree. It keeps you humble.
Yeah.
It keeps you just under that, no offense, Kanye West.
We love you, Kanye.
Musical genius. Kanye, you're a musical genius.
I'll take that comparison.
As you're a musical genius, I'm just saying that it just keeps you under that Kanye West.
Yeah.
Why do you think Kanye's arrogant? I love his arrogance. Do you know that? When I watch it, I know he's literally like he thinks he's God and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy like the way his head thinks. But he said from day one, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go and do it. And do you know what? For me,
he worked hard. When I watched that Netflix documentary, he got knocked back by all of them. What was that guy's name? Damon Dash.
He just walked past him like he'd done his bit, and I was sitting there like, bang. And he walked out. He just went, right, I'm popping out now. And I just went and
There's something to be said for recognising your talent. That doesn't make things arrogant. And I think that's something that our young people can actually learn from. There's a difference between the arrogance of everything and saying, no, do you know what? I know I'm actually good at this, but I'm going to actually keep on working to improve it, which is obviously something that you used to have learnt to balance. In your music 100%. And it sounds like in your personal relationship as well. So that's something to be applauded.
It is.
Definitely. I want to ask you as well, because I didn't actually ask you. So your musical influence, who's your favourite rapper? I mean, if I could say.
It's weird. Like, my rapper?
Rapper, and then we'll go to other genres.
At the moment, my favourite rapper out there is Dave. I honestly,
my daughters will love you. They love Dave.
He's just although I really do like Mike Righteous, and he's on the album. He's like he speaks so emotionally. Like I really feel what he's been through and stuff like that. So I can really relate. If I went American, I mean probably Nas. The album Godson I related to because that was at the time when I lost my mum, so I was well into that. Obviously the cliche ones, the Eminems, you know,
Nas is fire.
But Nas is my one, I think.
Okay, and with your other influences, like because you said your rapper ones, do you have any ones that aren't rappers?
Musically, I listen to everything, but I told you when I was growing up and I had like my hair pulled back in a ponytail and my skinny jeans, and I mean I used to listen to some different stuff like obviously Oasis and Blur I was really into, and there was some heavier rock stuff like Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that, but there was a lot of rap element in the Rage Against the Machine stuff. So, and obviously Ice-T, Body Count and stuff like that, I was really into that sort of stuff, and then it just clicked in my head, this ain't what I'm into really, like rap's what I like. I just needed to be directed into rap because in my household my mum was very sort of like, I didn't have I weren't blessed with the fact that she was listening to Motown, and my mum would listen to like the Beatles and my step.
There's a space for the Beatles.
Yeah, I get that, but like, I can't see Paul McCartney spitting a 16. and then if you look, wait, maybe he could. I don't know.
Maybe he does now.
And this is even worse. My stepdad's favourite music was Bruce Springsteen.
Oh my god!
Like, and I used to hear that playing. I'd be like, nah, what are you doing to me? I used to like Jim Morrison a lot, the Doors, because I like his lyrics.
Man,
But the thing is with me, it's probably very much
soul.
Mate, if I hear something and someone's talking truth and talking about life, I can relate to it. Then I'm going to listen. I don't care. I don't care if they're playing a ukulele and cleaning windows or whatever.
So how did you get directed? How did you get directed into hip hop?
Weird. It was at that time when like I used to smoke a little bit, and I'd be sitting with a few of the boys, and they'd be playing garage, and I'd be like, and I'd be listening, like spitting their bars. They'd just be going back to back, and I'd be listening. I'd be like, no, do you know what? I'm going to go away and write something. Come back, start doing it, and they were like, you're actually like quite good. And then carried on, and then that's when I started doing a bit more research into my rap and started listening to a lot of the garage. At the time, there was a lot of good garage MCs. I listened to a few drum and bass MCs and rap in general. And that sort of like took me to that path. And then I ended up on Deja Vu and Flavour FM.
Because
Smooth
you were saying
FM.
that you was on Flavour.
He was on Rude. He was on Rude FM, and I was on. Well, you've done a lot more than that, I think. But I've done like the Flavours and the Deja Vus and stuff like that.
Wow.
We know a lot of the same people. It's all quite interlinked.
That's because you guys
Everyone
are
knows each
supposed-
other.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can see the pathway being carved out. When you look back, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I think, you know, I believe in fate. Not everyone does, but I believe something happens for a reason.
Yes.
And I think that we were meant to meet.
100%.
That's it.
Yes,
And I'm glad we
100%.
did, because obviously I'll probably be still in the same position I was before. And he, I owe him, as much as he won't say this, I owe him a lot. Trust me. He got me. He picked me up, and he smiles. He's very humble, but I do owe him a lot. Like at the start, he really did push me a lot to start doing some stuff. So
I love that.
That's a
Good.
thing.
You know, there's a lot to be said for real brotherhood.
Yeah,
There's a
there
lot
is.
to be said for relationships forming between men, and then you supporting each other. And what you shared here today is that you actually do that with a lot of people in your day-to-day lives anyway.
yeah.
How would you encourage young people today in the sense of to be able to do that?
I don't even know what to do about today's kids. It's tough. I see my daughter. She's gone through so many stages, had so many different groups of friends. I don't know. I think stop looking at social media every second of the day.
Come on, it's the truth.
Stop looking at like, oh, I need to look like that girl, or I need to be like that boy.
It's the truth. They don't even look like that.
And stop. And 100%, none of them do. Like none of them. And the thing is, I remember I used to get up, get my football, walk 20 minutes down the road because mum couldn't take me. And I'd go and knock on someone's door, and sometimes they wouldn't be in. You'd be like, oh, just walk all this way. Then I'd go over to Rushall, jump the fence, play football in there, and then a couple of other people be there, and that's what I'd do for the whole day. I mean, and that's where I felt the brothership and sistership and stuff come from, because, you know, we didn't have this sit in front of your computer playing Fortnite 24 hours a day.
It's the truth. There's a lot to be said for interaction.
Yeah, I do feel like teenagers and children, that my daughter, she has this obsession with this vlog.
Roadblocks.
Oh,
no, not Roblox.
But that is something as well.
She's banned from Roblox.
There's loads.
But she's banned. We're not allowed. she downloaded it on my phone. She did the most. She's not allowed. Yeah. But she has this YouTube blogger, whatever it is, and she watches these live. These children talk about things, about toys, and all of these things. And I tried to get her out of it. And then one of the key things that I'm trying to do with her now that we're doing is talking about being strong and being a leader. Because we live in a world where it's like sheep, do you know what I mean? So how do you inspire and encourage by developing your own personality?
I think like us, we have to learn from our mistakes. I think, you know, like I've had situations with my little boy where he's been through a few things at school, and it's very easy to turn around and say, right, you know, man up. When people say man up, it really annoys me.
Because 100%.
Because everyone
what does that even mean?
Exactly. Everyone has feelings, right? So I don't say that to him. I also don't say punch the kid back in the face, although that's what I would have done in school. Right? But I will try to say to him, like, talk to him, and then if I like, you know, just try and sort it out. And to be honest, I've been quite lucky because boys fall in and out all the time, you know, like they'll have an argument, they won't be friends, and the next day they will be friends.
It's the truth. And I think parents need to support that a bit more, rather than that, oh, my child, you know, and not being able to find a way to reconcile. I think that is something that we can all learn from as a community, moving forward.
I mean, you remember what it was like when we was young, and in school, it'd be like my mum would come down and start throwing punches, someone else would get involved, then I'd start throwing punches, then there'd be a 40-man brawl. But this is Hainault.
Yes, darling.
This is Hainault. This is why we try to forget.
Yeah, it's the truth. Really? It's a journey. It's a journey, and here we are.
Survived it.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay.
What do you want our listeners to take away? As we're coming to the end of the show, we've got another track we want to play, but just want to, both of you, we're going to take it in turns.
Look, I would please just keep supporting our music. You know, like, keep supporting us. We'll never let you down. We'll keep producing better stuff than before. That's what we pride ourselves in.
Absolutely.
If it's not better, then it don't come out. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely.
We will always produce better. You know, just, I don't know, just give everything every day. That's all you do. You live once. You never know when your time's up. Just wake up in the morning, go and make that day better than the day before. That's all you can do.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Have you got anything up and coming?
What music? Well, I'll tell you what we have got. We've got.
on.
There's a festival on the 2nd of July that we've been booked for in, and it's a bit hush hush at the moment because we're actually headlining. But it's going to be in Greater London. It's some big artists there, so we'll keep you in the loop on social media.
Definitely.
I'd really like to see everyone there. It's going to be a mad event, and what we're going to try to do, we've got 15 features on the album. We're going to try to get maybe 8 or 9 of them features to turn up as well, so it turns into a big event.
That's going to work.
Yeah.
And just tell our listeners as well how they can find you one last time.
You can find me, Big Rebz, and you can also find Beats by the MR2 on Instagram, Facebook the same, Spotify, Big Rebz, and iTunes the same. Very simple, just type in Big Rebz and it'll come up and you'll get all our music,
Fantastic.
All right. Good speech to you. Let me pass over to MR2.
Ah, please do.
Right.
MR2, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having us. It's been an absolute pleasure. This has been the most fun interview
I've ever done. I'm so glad. We're going to take that with us.
It's been lovely. It's flowed really well.
Yes.
I haven't felt under pressure. I've got 2 very happy smiley faces opposite me, so it's been really nice. Thank you so much.
I'm just so happy that you're here with us.
Thank you.
It really means a lot. So what do you want people to take away from today and who you are as a producer?
Who I am as a producer? Well, that is a tricky one because I'm not used to talking about myself like in that way. With regards to what people can take away from the show, you know what? If you've got a dream or you feel in your gut that there's something you really want to do it.
Yes.
Start building now.
Yes.
Don't like I said earlier, don't try and get it all quickly. Build slowly. Do things in 2-year plans. Do things in 5-year plans, and then you know, like, nice and slow. Perfect your craft. Also, within hip hop, it's very important to me to respect the culture.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to be one of these people that come in and think, oh, you know, I'm here now. Blah blah blah.
Yes.
No, respect where it came from.
100%.
Respect the roots of
and
it.
You guys
do
know? That.
Yeah. That to me is one of the most important things.
100%.
It's respecting the culture, because to me hip hop is my religion. It's been with me ever since I was 9 years old. You know, I live and breathe it.
I love that.
You know, I absolutely love it. So to me, that's the most important thing.
Do you know what we didn't ask him? Do you work with any other artists?
Apart from the ones that we've had on the album.
Okay,
no,
I mean,
don't.
okay.
No. I mean, we've got, who we got on the album? We've got Rex on the album.
Yeah, mention them all. Give them a shout out.
Oh, I'm going to go through them
Please,
now.
no, let's do this. Let's do this.
We've got Black Poet on the album. We've got Lauren Mason. We've got a
Fantastic.
very talented female singer from Nottingham called Lost Petal.
Oh, I
We've
like
got
that
Mike
name.
Righteous, Stig of the Dump. We also have a guy called Wets.
Okay.
Comprehend. Let me know if I've missed anyone off, mate. We're getting
Bring
there.
us big them all
Yeah,
up.
there's so many.
Listen, we got space. We got time.
Did you say Bamzino?
Bamzino from South London.
So we've got Lauren Mason, Stick at the Dump.
There we go.
Nice.
He's got me the track list.
Nice.
So who haven't I mentioned? We've got JSM on there. We've got Haru, a couple of rappers from America. We've got Aldino, which is one of Rebz's workmates and long-time friends. We've got Gio Martinez.
Yes, big up.
We've got a very talented guy called Wordsmith Flip, who's been in the scene for a long time, who's one of my favourite UK artists.
Okay.
We've got a guy called Ill Visions, who we're hoping to get down to this Hush Hush festival in a couple of months' time. But for me, the highlights for me was working with Rex and Black Poet, because I've been listening to them for the best part of 15, 20 years.
Beautiful.
You know, so they're people I've grown up respecting. You know,
And now they're respecting you.
well, this is the thing. One thing that I've realised from doing music is that it's weird how people are really keen on working with people like us.
Yes.
I mean, who are we? A couple of guys from East London.
Do you know what it is? It's your energy.
Yes.
Your energy and your passion enters the place before you do.
Yeah.
It's obvious online. It's so obvious online. The humility is there.
Yeah.
And when there is an energy like that, you just want to connect. You want to inspire. You want to encourage it. You want it to grow. So I'm not surprised at all. Like, honestly, gentlemen, come on.
Okay.
Seriously, more fire
Point
to
taken.
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
listen to your songs. Listen to what you've done. This is how people want
Yeah.
to be around you. You know what I mean?
It's so bad. All the time, I just listen.
Just love it. Just love it. I mean, I just want to say thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
This
Thank you.
time has literally flown. I cannot believe the 2 hours are gone. I haven't even played all the tracks that I wanted to play because the flow has just been brilliant. We will be playing some of your tracks on the last show at the end of the month as well. So we'll
Lovely.
give you a heads up and let you know about that.
Appreciate
too.
that.
We love what you're doing. We support you here at A Real Sisterhood. You have a space if you ever want to come in and have a conversation. Keep us updated.
We'd love to.
Please.
Love to.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll come back again.
You are now family. Well, you've been family, but you are now family too, MR2. Come on. This is good. I love it. Kanika, come.
Thank you so much, guys. I feel so privileged.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm telling you, these men are so wonderful. They're
Definitely.
so calm.
Definitely.
Their energy is so positive. It's vibrant.
Definitely.
You are amazing. Both
Next
of
time
you.
I want
Thank
you
you.
to do a freestyle.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I didn't say that to him. I said, I wonder if they could do it.
Okay.
He went, no, he went, they wouldn't because you
Look, like, if you're inspired, yeah?
I'll do it next time.
All right, next time. Next time. We'll wait.
The only reason being, I woke up this morning and I don't even know how I'm functioning.
No.
Yeah, we've not.
listen,
You know
that's
what?
another
We've been a
reason to
bit
get you
ill the
back in.
last week or two. You know, we've had. I don't know whether it's.
But it's not.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's like you can't even say you're sick.
Just slide that in at the end of the interview.
Yeah.
Calm down.
No, it's not.
Yeah, calm down.
We tested before we came.
It's all good. It's all good.
No worries.
It's all good. So again,
I was testing out there in the corner.
I believe you. You've seen people testing as they're walking down the street, just saying, and things they're thrown on the floor. I don't understand. So I want to finish on irritable bowel syndrome. I just have to finish on it. I know we opened on it, but I need to finish on it.
Yeah.
Can I just say? Can I
Please.
just butt in and say just
Yeah,
quickly?
go for it.
We've got a remix of this coming very, very soon,
And we cannot wait.
and it is pure b-boy
Listen,
beats, breaks, and bass.
Hey.
You're gonna love it.
you're going to hear it here on A Real
Yeah,
Sisterhood.
we're going to give it to you first as an exclusive. How about that?
Oh my God! Super excited. You heard it here.
Hey.
You heard it here.
Next time out,
So
you're going to have the
excited.
track, yeah?
You're gonna
Promise,
have to come
promise.
in. You're gonna have to come in and introduce it.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely, that's a date.
With a freestyle.
That is a date,
Hey.
gentlemen.
Was he going to do it live?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
We still want the freestyle though.
Yeah,
definitely. Kanika, should we, Charlotte? No.
Yeah.
It'll be much better than that, people. So that was my rendition. This is fantastic. Oh, gentlemen. It's been emotional. It's been
Thank you.
joyful. It's been full of pleasure. Like seriously, listening to the sounds of Big Rebz and
Come to the mic. MR2. Who's in?
we're going to be listening to
Irritable Bowel Syndrome.
Let's
My favourite
go.
song. Thank you.
And that's what this is all about. You're getting back at them for what they did to her. And to you.
What was done to me created me. It's a basic principle of the universe that every action will create an equal and opposing reaction.
Is that how you see it? Like an equation?
What was done to me was monstrous.
And they created a monster.
I keep my focus, I'm the hostess with the mostest. I spread disease on this beat like cirrhosis. I'm moving smooth like the ocean. When I get provoked, then my actions are corrosive and atrocious. The Bible chapter 37, Joseph. Dreams and the hate I receive, that's compulsive. I'm like a dog, you can't stroke, that's thrombosis. I leave you breathless, that's cystic fibrosis. Acidic flows so the rappers get eroded. Devoted to my demons and my mind is in psychosis. And if you're real and you've been there, you know this. My diagnosis is cocaine unbolted. And in my arms I got the pistol fully loaded. Prepared to do a bird cause I'm devoted to my notions. Fear slowly get to jabs like COVID. The chosen for the broken is the new age poet. And it's out your hands for real. All these medications stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy. My heart no longer feels. Thinking which ones I'm gonna kill. Yo, and it's out, your hands, for real. All this medication stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy. My heart no longer feels. IVS, the anthem for the real. You better start believing that I'm a man of my word and say this is the Diddy-o, then sit and observe while I teach in rap classes to the masses, observing all the verbs I've been rehearsing and disperse them in a verse. I'm ambidextrous, perplexed, building platforms like Tetris, perpetuous, so crossing me is treacherous. I'm flying high like a Pegasus, legacy is relevant to my older wisdom and intelligence. 90s reference, boom bap's a preference, old school is evident to dismiss it is prejudice. I mesmerize like a hypnotherapist, may forget the realest hip-hop, the haters won't discredit this, limitless resilient, skills like Brazilians, won't stop grafting till we're stacking up the millions. Pledge my allegiance to the kings of real rap, add my name to the Hall of Fame alongside Tupac. And it's out, your hands, for real, all this medication stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy, my heart no longer feels, thinking which ones I'm gonna kill. Yo, and it's out, your hands, for real, all this medication stacking up, I'm ill. Yeah, my mind is going crazy, my heart no longer feels. IVS, the anthem for the real.